Good morning, everybody. Welcome back. Um, we got a little bit to talk about today. Obviously, as the title implies, I'm going to be telling you guys why I am still a big fan of using my Pixel 2 XL. Um, yes, I know it's the Pixel 2 XL. There's no 5G, but that doesn't matter to me right now when it comes to the Pixel 2 XL. But I'm going to tell you guys why I still enjoy using it. Um, and then we're going to take a little bit into some information regarding the ZTE Axion 20. Some interesting things developed with that device that I found very interesting. I wanted to share with you guys, talk about a little bit today. We're also going to be talking about the Samsung Galaxy Z Fold 2 and why I think that, yeah, Samsung is a little crazy with that one. And then we're going to wrap it on up with just a little bit of open topic to kind of close out the podcast. So, as you are coming in, I would definitely appreciate a thumbs up as you guys are coming in. Help circulate these live streams for replay later on. For those people out there who just, weren't able to catch it, or for those people who are looking at any of the topics that I talk about in my podcasts. Caleb, what's going on, bro? Thanks for joining me this morning. How you doing, man? How's it going? So yeah, I'll give it a little bit just to kind of allow people to come in. Also, I do want to tell you guys that I got the big thumbs up for the big man himself, the legendary, the exalted one. Steed Mobile Tech will actually be live with me again later on tonight, 6 p.m. my time, 9 p.m. his time. And I'm going to pick the brain of the myth, the legend himself. Kimon, how's it going? Good morning. Thank you for coming in. We got some good stuff here to talk about. Let's see. No problem. Just working away. Yes, man. Yeah, I know how that is, man. Work is work. Yeah, so we'll give it a little bit more time. YouTube notifications is just so strange nowadays. I did put out an invite for CV Tech to join me. If you guys haven't heard of him, I didn't get no reply back from him. So hopefully he'll reply a little bit later on. If he does, I will bring him into the podcast so that way he can kind of introduce himself to the community. He's a good friend of mine. He's been around for a while. Focuses on mid-range devices. So if you're someone who is absolutely looking for a mid-ranger and not interested in flagships, then definitely want to check out his stuff. So you know what? It is what it is. We're 3 minutes in. Let me go ahead and kick it off because the Pixel 2 XL is not like brand new tech. But I'll tell you guys the reason why I still enjoy using this phone. And as of right now, I have the AT&T SIM in this phone. That's what I'm using on there. The phone itself is still pretty snappy. Okay, I'll give that to anyone out there. It's currently on Android 11 beta, so it does support the excuse me. It does support the beta. It's getting the beta treatment and will be on Android 11. Android 11 will be its final version of Android that's going to be updated to. After that, it's just going to be security software patches on this. But the phone still actually is pretty good. The only problem that most people are reporting, I myself have not run into this problem with this phone. A lot of people are reporting the cameras, issues with the camera itself. Luckily, I'm not plagued with that problem. And, my desk is made of wood, so knock on wood that I don't get plagued with those problems because I really want this device, to survive. I mean, the build quality itself feels really nice. That's one thing I do enjoy about it. As far as like the aesthetics of the phone, it's thin. I always wanted the Panda version, and I finally got a hold of one a couple of months ago, so I have it, and I just enjoy it. I mean, the battery life is still pretty solid on this thing. Fingerprint sensor on the back rather than relying on facial recognition. Nice size screen. By the way, if you guys want this wallpaper, let me know. Since Halloween's around the corner, I figure I'd start rocking the werewolf versus vampires wallpaper. And I really love the display on it. But those are just some of the very minor things about the Pixel 2 XL. The main thing that I really like about it is that it's still snappy. For an old device, it's still snappy. It still runs really good. Okay, we're about to reach, as far as the flagship devices, we're about to reach 5 generations of the Pixels come this October. So this is basically 3 generations old. Now that's not counting the A series. For it being pretty snappy, in its time right now, still pretty snappy. I mean, I don't get slowdowns. I get a few occasional, janks and stutters, but it doesn't really like super slow down. And that's a good thing. I mean, of course, definitely you don't want anything to slow down. But you would expect, like with most devices that's around the same age as the Pixel 2 and 2 XL, you expect some slowdowns, you expect some performances to be hindered. And I can tell you guys right now, from when I got it, and it was on Android 10, and I put it on Android 11 beta, and I've been, using it. There's really no issues at all whatsoever, at all. It hasn't slowed down or anything like that. Now, maybe some users that have had this phone for like a couple years, maybe they'll come up and they'll be like, yeah, we noticed that there was some slowdowns or something like that. And by right, they can say that because they've had it since day one. I'll tell you guys right now. Um, you know, to me, it feels flawlessly snappy. The camera itself is still really good. So if you guys want to see that photo that I just took right now, and I just took that right now. And my webcam on my Chromebook's probably not going to do it any justice, but it's still good. Like I can see the texture of the paint on my coffee mug that I got from Visible. I love my Pixel 4 XL, best LTE connection, solid. And you know what? Yeah, this is probably gonna not be able to have that type of reputation. Obviously, because the newer devices are obviously going to support the newer LTE bands. But I will say this: the Pixel 2 XL is no slouch. It's held up very well, and I just find myself being drawn back to using it. Right, like my Pixel 4, I still use it. It has my visible SIM in that device, and I still use it for that. Google Fi is being killed off, which I'm going to get into here in a little bit. Why I'm killing off my Google Fi account. So we'll kind of talk about that too as well. But um, yeah, like I had the Pixel 3a, I had the Pixel 2, I have the Pixel 1. Um, the wife has the Pixel 4a, so that's what she's using, and that's why it's taking a little bit longer for me to make that Pixel 4a perspective video. I would say I'm not going to call it a review because everyone's doing reviews, but this one's going to be my perspective on that. It's because I'm gathering a lot from her. Right, she's not a techie like me, so really discovering things is a bit different for her. So as she's making mental notes of all this stuff and keeping notes of what she presents to me to tell me, so what I can convey back to you guys. It's taken a little bit for her, but she has taken a lot of pictures too, and so those, she's picking up, the ones that she wants me to share with you guys, because not every photo she took she wants me to share with you guys, so that's totally fine. But Pixel 2 XL, I'm just drawn back to using it, and I think I will. If there was a way for me to pretty much like work on the phone, whereas I'm pretty sure it's possible to do this, but who's gonna really take the time to do it? And what would be the absolute benefit of doing it? But for me, if I really had it in me to just take this phone apart and just change the modem in it, I definitely would, and I would change the modem in it to support 5G. So yeah, I would put a modem that can connect to 5G just to modernize it so it's future proof. But I mean, like, some people would say, hey, you're nuts for doing that. And if people think that, then yeah, that's to them. But as for me, um yeah, I'm just like, I would if I did, but that's just too much time. All right, so we're gonna move it on a little bit here. Let me take a quick break. Let me check on my daughters. They're doing their school work, so I'm gonna, I'm sorry if I'm like jumping in and out. Just be like a quick 2 minutes. But let me just go ahead and just take a brief moment to step away. I'll be right Okay, I do apologize. Are you planning on getting a Pixel 4a 5G? Possibly, possibly. It just depends on what's going on. You know what I mean? Like any phone that I get, I pay out of pocket, right? So I got to make sure that I do have the funds that I don't take away from anything else that needs to. So really, it's pay bills, right? This is my whole setup for my finances. Pay bills, and then after that, and then the kids. So what the kids want, and then whatever I can get my hands on afterwards. So maybe, who knows? Maybe we'll see what happens. I mean, maybe you know, Team Pixel will find me this round, coming up, and then I end up getting it. Who knows? I mean, they, every time new Pixels come out, new members are added to Team Pixel. So who knows? Maybe this time they'll punch my card and I get to go in. And if they send me to the phone, then yeah, I'll have my review stuff on it. If I have to buy it, it's gonna take some time. I know that. But why am I leaving Google Fi? And I said this on Carlos's live stream on Periscope. I have to leave Google Fi. Google Fi is dependent on T-Mobile, and US Cellular is obviously not here in Arizona. So really, I only have one carrier dependency with that, and T-Mobile it's just not working out. I have no choice. And you know what? Like people that are T-Mobile fans, spare me your incoherent rambling about being a hater and all that other stuff. Look, I'm tired of people like attacking other people for just dropping out what's happening with T-Mobile. Face the facts. What's happening with T-Mobile is happening with T-Mobile. What we're saying is happening is actually happening. You may not like it, but trying to tell people on social media that 50 megabytes down and 25 megabytes upload on an uplink, which is actually pretty decent for what T-Mobile is really giving nowadays. Calling that 5G, that's nuts. Read a book. And I'm sorry, I'm sorry to sound so rude about it, but you know what? Like I don't get it as much as my friends do. They get it a lot. But have gotten people tell me things about, how what I'm saying about T-Mobile. But what I'm calling T-Mobile on is that's what it is. They're not doing so great. Their network has tanked in my city over the last, I would say right now, over the last 7 months. Before February, T-Mobile was fine here. It really was. But for some reason, it just went downhill. I can't change that. I have no control over that. And because, what I'm paying for on Google Fi, I'm paying $131. That's taxes and fees included in that pricing right there. $131 a month for 2 lines, and then 6 data only SIM cards, so 6 other devices basically running on LTE data. It just doesn't make sense to pay that, and for what the speeds that I'm getting, and just for it not really being dependable. I mean, when I'm out and about around the city of Phoenix, the phones that I technically, take out to use is either my visible line or the AT&T line that I got through Carlos. So if I'm using those, then why am I going to have Google Fi and pay for that if I'm not really using it? So, it saves on the bill that I don't have to pay for. And yeah, so I'm getting rid of Google Fi. That's the reason why. It's not that Google Fi sucks as what they provide as far as like features and things like that. Google Fi is a great company, a great option to build an unorthodox family plan if you really want to save money. So like if you want to only pay $130 for 8 lines total, 6 of them being data only and 2 of them being basically actual full-fledged phone lines, then you can actually do that. I'll be doing RF testing on my Pixel 4 XL on T-Mobile in late September. This is why I can see. This way I can see what the network is doing. Okay. Definitely. Because like I said, like I'm leaving Google Fi. Yeah, I would go back to them if things had gotten better, or if like Google Fi announced a partnership with AT&T, and so like you can smart switches back on, and you'll smart switch between T-Mobile and AT&T. And of course, yeah, definitely, I'm going to go back to Google Fi. Google Fi does not require a deposit to start a line or anything like that, so of course I'll jump right back onto them. But for right now, I gotta let them go. You know what I mean? Like times is hard, times is rough. I'm paying bills. And I'm paying for Google Fi and not really getting what I need to get out of it. It's not Google's fault. So, but it is what it is. So that's kind of the reason why I'm jumping away from Google Fi. I have to. I got to jump away from them for now. So, morning coffee. All right. So the yesterday I um live streamed the Samsung Unpacked Part 2, which focused on the Galaxy Z Fold 2, a ridiculously priced smartphone. But leave it to Samsung to do that. So I'm probably gonna catch flack from the Samsung Knights. Um, I can hear it now. I can hear it in the distance. I can hear someone uttering Samsung Knights unite and them get together because they know I'm about to trash the Galaxy Z Fold 2. But I'm not trashing the phone because specs. Okay, the specs are solid. I'm not trashing the phone because of the innovative technology behind it. Because that's actually quite. You know how hard it is to actually build a foldable glass, the UTG, the ultra thin glass, so it's foldable. Um, I'm not trashing it because they're Samsung. Has nothing to do with that. Samsung, builds decent phones. They have, and they've been doing it for years. Okay. I'm trashing this phone because it's $2,000. Like, who is the ideal person that Samsung built this phone when they're like, what is our market for this phone? When they all got together, who is it? And I'll tell you exactly who it is. It's not us. We are not the market that Samsung is looking at when they said they were going to do this. Um, you know what I mean? Because Samsung's in it to make money. And when people are like, well, it is kind of for us because we can finance the phone. And, there's financing options. And, Samsung really doesn't want you to finance that phone. They don't want to get their money later. They're like JG Wentworth. It's their money and they want it now. So Samsung phones are so overpriced. I'm thinking about selling my Galaxy S20 Plus. The software is horrible. Wow. That's crazy. One UI is like, um, is it really that bad? I mean, if you were to compare One UI to TouchWiz, I'd say TouchWiz was like by far the worst. Such a heavy bogged down skin on Android. But yeah. So yeah, Samsung does not want you guys to finance it. So all those people that's like going all over the internet talking about we are the market for the Galaxy Z Fold 2, we can finance it. Like, sorry to tell you, but Samsung doesn't want you to finance it. They want you to pay the money now. And so, who really is the market for this Galaxy Z Fold 2? Well, that would be the person who drives like, I don't know, say like a Bentley to overcompensate for something else. I don't know. I mean, I'm being rude. I know I am. I'm being offensive. So I don't know. Let's kind of take it back. So I would say the Galaxy Z Fold 2 is for the person that has money to burn. That's what it is. It's for the person that has money to burn. Because who could justify spending 2,000? Well, it's gonna be, let's call it what it is. It's gonna be over $2,000. Okay, it's gonna be over $2,000 because it's $1,999, and you gotta think taxes and all that other stuff incorporated in there. And let's call it $2,200 for a phone. $2,200 for a phone. Do you know what you can do with $2,200? Like, just name a few things. And if someone says buy a Whopper, and a $2,200 Whopper, that better be like the best tasting water Whopper that gives you an orgasm exactly when you bite into it, and like an everlasting orgasm, like you're busting constantly nonstop at a climax point, right? For $2,200. But I mean, off the top of my head, that's a down payment on a decent 2017 and up vehicle. Used, obviously, yeah, it's not brand new, but it's a decent down payment on one of those things. So if you're looking at a used vehicle that probably, maybe like a 2019 model that costs like, $16,000 still, $2,200 it's a sizable down payment if you're going to finance the vehicle over the next 4 years. Kathy is here. That's mortgage and rent. Yes. That's mortgage and rent. Because some places in the United States, rent is pretty high. I know in Hawaii it's pretty high. Um, a a studio a studio costs about $1,000 a month in rent alone. A studio now. It's not. It's a room. There's no bedroom in there. The whole thing is your bedroom, with with a stove and a area to put a couch. So studio apartment about $900 to $1,000 in Hawaii, right? So if you're gonna rent a 3 bedroom, you are looking at about $2,000 a month, between 1,700 and 2,200 a month. Yeah, so that's like mortgage or rent payment. Yeah, and you're buying a phone that folds. That's like the best thing that you really got. Because what do you really have with the Galaxy Z Fold 2 when you spend $2,200 on it? The only thing you could really show anybody who's watching or anything like that, um, yeah, down payment on the house. You're right, Mikey. Um, is that it folds. Like, look at my phone fold. It folds closed. Woo! Exciting. Check this out. It folds open. Now it's a tablet. I've turned my phone into a tablet. Now I turned it into a micro mini laptop. That's all you got. But how long does that last before people just look at it and they're just like, wow, you know, with that monotone, you know what I mean? Just like, wow. Like the Clear Eyes guy. That's awesome. Wow. Like, eventually that ship's gonna sail. See over, what's up? So when you really think about it, the Galaxy Z Fold 2 is a over $2,000 high priced for the person who has money to burn. That's what the market is for the Galaxy Z Fold 2. It's not for the everyday average person out there. Because again, I say Samsung has the JG Wentworth mentality. They don't want you to finance the phone because it's their money and they want it now. Plain and simple. They want their money now. I mean, if you built a smartphone with a patented foldable technology that, you're for sure like, I'm going to make buku dollars on it, would you rather have customers finance the phone or buy it outright? Because with financing, I don't know how, like, AT&T and them do it. I really got to look into their stuff. But some of the companies that finances the phones actually doesn't make any interest off it. Some, I'm not going to say all of them don't, but I'm just saying they want their money. They want their money already. So, I mean, I'm sure there's going to be some sort of deal, like some sort of trade-in program that's going to make the Galaxy Z Fold 2 like $1,500. Like if you trade in your Galaxy S20 Ultra, you could probably get $500 off. You could be expecting something like that. Samsung and other companies bugging with their prices. Fold gonna drop down in price, I suspect. Yeah, but yeah, of course, yeah, definitely, it's gonna drop down. You are right on that. But at the same time, too, they're gonna try to milk the ones that can drop that kind of money. The ones that have money to burn. You know what I mean? Just those that don't really, like have some sense with money. The ones that they get money and they just want to burn it quickly, like they don't think of long-term investments or savings or anything like that. Those are the ones that that's their prime market. Their prime market. So when people are like, so what to the Galaxy Z Fold 2, and then other people are getting offended by it, like, why are you getting offended by it? Like, why? Samsung literally broke the glass ceiling. Like, everybody flamed Apple when Apple like hit over $1,000 on their iPhones, and everyone's like, Apple, how dare they charge over $1,000? Now look at every other company making flagship devices over $1,000. So when Samsung breaks the glass ceiling and goes $1,999, I have to laugh every time I say that because I'm still tripping on the price. But it's like, yeah, they broke the glass ceiling. Oh, it's almost like as if Samsung competes with Apple to say, who can build the most expensive phone ever? We're going to do it with foldable technology. And the event was just, thank God it wasn't as cringy as the first Samsung Unpacked event. That was pretty dang cringy. But, then, I don't know. I didn't find the Tom Brown edition to be like overly exciting. Though some people, I don't know who actually sits there and looks at a special edition smartphone or anything like that, like it's porn. I mean, there's like, does someone really just sit there and just rub one out? Like they were watching the Unpacked event. They started to like advertise the Tom Brown, and the guy who narrated the whole thing for Tom Brown. Like I think everybody in a way kind of like pulls something from Apple, right? Like they copy a design language, they copy the notch, and then some companies decide to say, hey, hire a guy who talks like Johnny Ives, because that's what the guy who narrated the whole thing with the Tom Brown edition of the Galaxy Z Fold 2 and the Galaxy Buds Live and the Galaxy Watch, the guy who narrated all that just did it in a format that sounded so much like Johnny Ives. Like if I was to do the Johnny Ives with the Pixel 2 XL, it's white, two-toned color, Panda edition with the orange power button. But we didn't stop there. Type-C charging port with curved displays. Like, come on. I mean, Johnny Ives just... I remember I was watching a YouTuber talk about that once, and I laughed so hard when that YouTuber, I forgot who said it, but he was like, just imagine if Johnny Ives was hired to describe the Whopper from Burger King. Samsung gives people a trade-in value of $450 on a cracked screen Samsung device as long as it powers and charges. Okay. Cool. He had to tell me about Roblox. He's playing Roblox. Okay, let me repeat that again because he kind of got me off track. Samsung gives people a trade-in value of $450 on a cracked screen Samsung device as long as it powers on and charges. Unlike Apple, nope, they won't do it. Yeah, I'm not really here to really have Samsung versus Apple. I mean, yeah, I get that, but I'm just saying. Marketing officers have to hype up the launch events with high markup words. It's like a horrible fashion show. You're right. You're absolutely right. You're cracking me up. Oh yeah. But dude, could you guys really imagine Johnny Ives like, describing the Whopper? All beef patty with pickles, lettuce, tomato. But we didn't stop there. 2 slices of all-American cheese on a toasted sesame seed bun. man, would Burger King sell the hell out of Whoppers right now if Johnny Ives was to describe this stuff, right? Because Johnny Ives, man, the way he speaks. But yeah, but I mean, so it was cool, like the Tom Brown edition. I just didn't, like to some people, they probably find that, that style to be like provocative and just, stylish or anything like that. Gray with white, I mean, it's cool, but it's not something that I find appealing. I'm not going to go rub one out in the bathroom because it's, gray and white with a red, white, and blue stripe. But, hey, those are the reasons why they have those things, limited editions, right? Because sometimes people want to feel special. Like, there's 2 guys in New York City about to catch the subway. One guy pulls out his phone, was like, yeah, I got this bad boy for about like, $2,200 just about. Yeah, it's the Galaxy Z Fold 2. And like, like he has like the bronze edition. Hold on. I could tell my daughters are not doing what they're supposed to be doing. And yeah, they were getting off track with their work, so dad do these calls. But anyways, yeah, so a guy, Subway, bronze edition, Galaxy Z Fold 2, and then another guy comes up right next to him and just whips out the Tom Brown edition, you know what I mean? Like, and people are like, whoa, that's a different one from his. And he gets to kind of rub it in there like, oh yeah, this is the Tom Brown edition. Totally get it. Kind of like Carl's Jr. burger commercials. Yeah. Extra sauce. Really? We got Mikey dying over here with the emojis, extra sauce, kind of like Carl's Jr. burgers. That's kind of cool. And I like Carl's Jr. Well, I guess in the Florida area they call it Hardee's. Well, let's see. What did you say, Caleb? Like In-N-Out Burger. Oh man, come on, don't. You know what? People are gonna hate me for this, but I don't see the giant hype of In-N-Out Burger. I just don't. I love how kids think that they can't be caught. Hold on. Move away from each other. Because you guys are like playing around too much. I'm not playing around. I'm focusing on the teacher. She's the one talking to me. Okay. That's why it's time to move. Oh my god, man. I love my kids. They're like my youngest daughter right now, she's like this. She's got that pasty look because she doesn't want to be on online class, and I totally get it. I feel so bad for them. Anyways, guys, yeah. So the Samsung Galaxy Z Fold 2, about $2,000 worth of nothing. Okay, because I mean, if you compare it to the Galaxy Note 20 Ultra, there's not a real giant significant difference between them, other than the fact that the Z Fold 2 folds and doesn't have an S Pen. But as far as like, software experience, it's going to be almost similar, except that, of course, the Z Fold 2 has those little things where you can have multiple things open and you can have applications grouped together. Then when you tap them, they will all open and it will be like cut into like the areas that they perform in, but are, you guys know what I mean. Anyways, Mikey, thank you so much for the super chat, $2 donation. Can't wait for an in-person school. Yeah. I mean, we'll see what happens. The world is changing, right? We'll get into that later on in the open topic discussion here. So if you want to stick around for that, we'll talk a little bit more about that. Anyways, guys, so okay, let's crack it into the phone of the hour. The phone of the hour. Everyday Tech, thank you for popping in, my dude. What's up? I haven't seen you in a while, man. So it's really good to see you. We got Caleb here with the super chat. Thank you so much, Caleb. Really appreciate that super sticker. Okay. Well, I mean, I'm not gonna be able to see it on my end, but you guys probably see it on your end. I'm sure it's exquisite and cool. So big thumbs up. Thank you so much for that. And yeah, you guys are gonna laugh at me, but I actually have merch myself coming soon. It's not coming soon. It's available now. But actually, real quick, let me tell you about it. What I'm actually doing is that I'm going to be designing shirts and stuff like that, but they're limited run. So that means that I'm going to run that print for a specific time. Once I discontinue the print of the shirt or the phone cases or the coffee mug, once I end the design for that, it will never be repeated again. So yeah, something cool. Eventually my store will appear on YouTube. I've already linked it to my YouTube account, so it'll begin showing. It says it takes like 1 to 2 days for it to start showing, but you guys will see it. And if people want to buy merch, there's merch for them to buy. And all the money that's made from the merchandise sales basically goes to my daughter, since my daughter Destiny was the one that was like, encouraged me to do it, because I was talking about it to the wife. My daughter heard it. She's like, "Yeah, do it, Dad. Just do it." So I said, "Fine, I'll do it. And whatever I make from it goes to you." Well, her and her siblings, they gotta split it. But anyways, that's enough about the merch. Let's dive in to the ZTE Axion 20. So before we really dive into it, Everyday Tech with the $9.99 super chat. Thank you so much. Keep grinding, fam. And you do as well, everybody. Everyday Tech, if you guys have not subscribed to his channel, please check out his channel. Very, very good stuff. Very, very good informative videos from a very much different perspective. So not the same regurgitated stuff that's all over YouTube. Different perspective from a very cool guy who knows his stuff. So please check out his channel and hit the subscribe for him. Definitely really, really, really good dude. So let me ask you guys this. If you guys can get a smartphone with a full display, like all screen display, fingerprint sensor in the display, a selfie camera underneath the display. So I'm not talking about Samsung's punch hole design. A selfie cam under the display. Okay, do you think it's possible? I'll give like a minute. Imagine the Jeopardy theme playing, even though I can't play the Jeopardy theme because it is copyright music, but it's just That's the best I can do. It probably sucked, but would you guys imagine there was such a thing? Sign me up. The Axion feels like the real next move. Okay. Sony is doing the under display camera. Yep. And depending on the price, I'd snag one. Okay. So, yeah, let's go ahead and share this screen real quick. And boom. And you guys, hope you guys love my background. I kept it there because yeah, I'm gonna do some gaming live streaming later on the Twitch channel. But anyways, guys, so it looks like that ZTE is going with a in-display fingerprint sensor and underneath in-display selfie camera. After teasing, ZTE has officially launched the Axion 25G with the first commercially available under-display selfie camera tech. Well, while Oppo first showed us a few concept devices with under-display camera technology, ZTE has beaten their rivals to the punch with the Axion 25G. It's a reasonably solid mid-range smartphone without that new tech packed inside. Inside too. Why did I say without that new tech packed inside too? That doesn't make sense. Measuring at 6.92-inch display, the Axion 25G included a Qualcomm Snapdragon 765G. So the same chipset found in the OnePlus Nord, the Pixel 4a 5G, and the Pixel 5. Let's see, 6 or 8 gigabytes of RAM, 128 or 256 of internal storage with the micro SD expandable storage as well. 4,220 milliamp hour battery with 30-watt charging. So basically fast charging at 30 watts. I think the word these things so weird. Just plain English, people. That's eerily similar to that of the OnePlus Nord released just last month. Of course, the unique selling point here is the under-display selfie camera. While ZTE is happy to tout the tech in the Axion 25G, we're not actually sure how it works in the real world. Press renders show a seamless, bezel-free, full HD plus OLED display, but we're yet to see any tangible evidence of the selfie camera in action. Yeah, that would be nice if you're gonna talk about it. If you're gonna be like, oh my gosh, we got the first ever under display camera. Yeah, we got the first under display camera. Yeah, show a video how it works. Everything leaks nowadays. You can't leak a video of your stuff working. Oh my gosh. I'm not hating on ZTE because ZTE has put out some pretty good devices. I'm just saying, like, me being, a tech enthusiast, a full-on geek, a super nerd, one of the people that people would have beat up in school if they really knew that I was faking trying to be hardcore gangster back in the day when I was 15. If they really knew that I played Dungeons and Dragons, yes, I played DoD when I was young. Yeah, I would have got beat up. But anyways, I want to see this thing in action. Like, and I want to be told that it can do it. Show me. It would be like, show me the money. Show me the money. Like, come on, man. Like if you go to a strip club, you don't want a quick tease. Like, take it off. That's what I'm going to say. I'm so sorry. That's so bad. I don't mean to offend anybody out there. I'm just having a little fun with it. So please don't mind my shameless jokes. Yes, my darling. Okay.
She gave us an exit ticket. We finished it. And then the people that finish it, they have a break for a couple of minutes. So I'm helping Avi and a little bit from math.
That's fine.
Okay.
All right. Have fun. Such a good big sister. Anyways, guys, yeah, I'm just like, what is going on here? So like, why? Okay, so I'm back here. I can see the comments. It is possible. Yeah. Let's see. Good morning, Lawrence. Good morning. Thanks for coming in. You'll be right back. Wow, you came in and you left. Okay. No, I'm just kidding, bro. I'm just kidding. Gotta go. Peace. All right, Caleb. If you already left, then yeah, when you watch the replay later, if you do, peace. Gene, my good sir, how are you today? I'm very animated. And the animation is brought to you guys by coffee. Because when I drink coffee, it's like it's liquid crack. It's not sweet. I drink my coffee dark, like black, no sugar, nothing, nada. There is no sweetener in here, so it's this delicious, bitter loveliness in a cup. Or in the words of Ryan Reynolds from that movie, The Proposal, it's like Christmas in a cup. Oh, yeah, and this cup I got from Visible. Visible with the swag box they sent me last year. Yeah, I gotta talk to Pearl. She's head of PR for Visible. I need to talk to her. There's a lot of people that's giving out some really good feedback about Visible, and I want to give that to her so she can give it to them so they can do some good stuff with Visible Wireless in the future. But anyways, guys, all right, so we're gonna open this sucker up. We're gonna have a little bit of fun. Because I gotta say this, I mean, in underneath display a selfie cam, I really want to see how that works. So ZTE, please leak a video. I don't care where you put it. You can put it on fans only. I don't care. Just leak the thing, man. Come on, I want to see this thing in action. Right? You know how cool that's gonna be? All screen display, and then the selfie camera appears when you're going to use it, and then magically disappears when you're not using it. That's so cool. I just want to see how it works. So anyways, Edward Castillo. Good morning, good sir. Joe Biden gonna put a lot of like okay. Yeah, so politics is a bit touchy. We are in open forum right now. Okay. And you know what? I think personally, to me, I think, like I'm not ever going to, be mean to anybody because of their political view. Um, you know what I mean? So I just say this, right? Like you're free to put that there. It's cool by me and it will not get deleted. Your comment will stay. Um, I just kind of like get weird about politics because today most people just can't have a conversation about politics without resorting to just becoming a full-blown attack. Like today, it really saddens my heart. I'll be open with you guys about it. Like I don't care what political side you identify yourself with. If you're left, right, if you're Republican, Democrat, if you're conservative, liberal, I don't care. The thing that really irks the hell out of me is when people can't be tolerant and respectful and agree to disagree. Why do people got to attack people? Why does everyone got to get hurt? Like that stuff just irritates me. Like, I don't know, man. I'm just like today, I'm just so over it with the way that things is going. Tito, do you play League of Legends? No, I don't. You want to tell me what it's about? Just like a brief synopsis. Maybe I'll check it out and maybe I'll play it on the gaming channel. But yeah, politics is a very touchy subject. So I tend not to dabble in it because, like I want everyone to be comfortable here. This is like a safe space for people to just hang out and talk. You can openly talk about things as long as it's not, like superly offensive. And let me just tell people, having a political point of view is not an offensive thing. Okay. Everyone has a right to think of what they want to think of and speak what they want to speak. I just won't tolerate, like the, really bad stuff. And yeah, I'm not going to give people an idea. Big John's Tech Reviews. Good morning to you, good sir, or good afternoon, or where you are in the world. It's 10 a.m. here where I'm at. So Kathy says hi to Jean, Chanel, and Kimon, and Big John. She didn't forget you there, Big John. Kathy, you're a wonderful person. Me, I'm just like, let's see. League of Legends is basically a MOBA. It's like World of Warcraft. Oh, okay. You know what? I'll look it up. And Kimon says hi back to Kathy. That's sweet. That's awesome. By the way, guys, because I'm noticing that the numbers of the live stream is going down. So some of you guys are jumping out. I do want you guys to know that I'm actually having a special live stream tonight, 6 p.m. my time, which is 9 p.m. Sneed's time. So he's 3 hours ahead of me. So right now it's 10 a.m. So in 8 hours from now, I'm going to have a special live stream broadcast. I'm actually going to pick the brain of Sneed Mobile Tech, the man, the myth, the legend, the exalted one. I am going to hit him with the hard questions. So if there's ever questions that you guys may have thought to yourself and was like, I wonder why he calls himself Sneed Mobile Tech. Where did he get that name from? What got him into this? All those things are going to be asked. I'm going to pick his brain. He's going to answer the questions. The only questions I will not ask him is I will not ask him anything personal. I will not ask him anything about his daughter, Yasmin. That's personal. I'm not going to ask him anything about his wife. That's none of our business. I am not going to ask the man for his social security number, his biometrics thumbprint, a digital scan of three schematics of his face. None of that stuff I'm going to ask for. Not going to ask him for his credit score. I'm not going to ask him for any of that stuff. I'm just going to ask him about things that pertains to the SMT community. Him being the front man of the SMT community, I'm sure a lot of people would really love to know more about the man himself, why he does what he does. And so I'm going to be asking those questions tonight. So you guys don't want to miss that. That's 8 hours from now. So whatever time it is in your area, 8 hours from now, the live stream is going to happen. As you know, he's at work right now, because school's back in session. He's got things that he's got to do. So it'll be about 9 p.m. his time. So keep it locked. And then you guys return back then. I'm not ending the podcast right now. I'm just saying, just keep it locked. It's going to happen tonight. I already got the confirmation from him. Ask him when does he upgrade his office? When does he upgrade his office? Be done with the cinder block office, LOL. Oh, okay. Big John. All right. You know what? Just for you, my dude, I will make a mental note of that to talk about his office space. If he's going to put any type of soundproofing or if he's going to put any posters or anything up to cover up the cinder block, I will ask him about that. You have my word, good sir. But yeah, so other than that, how is everybody holding up with this whole pandemic? Because I know a lot of people are watching a lot of YouTube nowadays in the last couple of months because some places people are on lockdown, some places people are stuck at home. And maybe, there's nothing good to binge watch on Netflix or Hulu or Peacock or Quibi or what else? Tubi TV or Sling TV or Crackle or there's just so many different services. And so you guys come to YouTube and you guys watch content creators and stuff like that do live streaming, right? And wow, how are you guys holding up? Like really, like how have you guys been? I really want to know like where you guys are at mentally right now with all this. You know what I mean? So right, Tito, why does everyone not respect the other person's point of view? Okay, Tito, back to fun things. Thinking about buying the Pixel XL2 renewed at Amazon, 90-day return. Got first gen Pixel now. Yeah, I still use it. I went back to it. I put it down for a rest for a little bit for about a month, and I went back to it. So I'm using a Pixel 2 XL and my Pixel 4. I'm just stuck binge buying. Oh, whoa, binge buying. Hawaii is F. Lawrence, would you like to come on the podcast and share with these fine, wonderful people about what's going on in the state of Hawaii? I get that all the time. People always ask me, why do you say Hawaii? Well, because if the W is not the first letter in the word, it's pronounced as a V. And it's funny. I love it when people come to Hawaii and they're looking for Eva Beach because like Eva Beach had Iroquois housing out there, and people, do you know where Iwa Beach is? And I look at them like, what? I had to think for a little bit, right? Because it's basically spelled EWA. I'm like, oh, Eva Beach. Okay, my good sir. I will send you the invite now. Let me just do that and pop Twitter open. Not Twitch, Twitter. What's wrong with my browser? It's like your browser extension is trying to get you on Twitch. No, we're not doing that today. Here I come to save the day. I'm weird. Okay, there's that. Open the doors. Open the gateways. I am so weird today. This is what happens when I drink coffee. Because you guys know I don't drink coffee very often. But when I do, it's special. All right, now all I gotta do is just find Lawrence and Lawrence alone because I have so many group threads here. I gotta clean up my DMs on Twitter. There are so many group threads. I gotta be careful when I post it. Okay, so while we wait for Mr. Lawrence himself, the man, the myth, the legend, also to come in and kind of share a little bit of insight of what's going on in Hawaii. We are going to take a look at the chat a little bit more. Isaac Diaz, what's up? How's it going? And so let me go here, select this, and then I'm going to bring him on. Ladies and gentlemen, I give to you Lawrence.
Hey,
Good
what's
morning.
up?
Yeah, how's it going?
Yeah, we're
I'm
talking
on
about
the.
mispronouncing stuff. It's like even leaky highway. They'll
Where's
say
like highway?
like highway. No,
Oh man.
when it comes to the shutdown, they're thinking of extending it for another 2 weeks. So it's gonna be a full month, and they're saying no inter island travel. Hawaiian, you saw Hawaiian
Wow.
Airlines. They laid off, I think 1,000 employees.
Really?
It's a huge
Wow.
amount of Hawaiian Airlines because
Yeah.
you don't want people to fly to even the outer islands. Big Island is seeing their numbers go up right now, and even with this lockdown, there was still 180 new cases.
Yeah, my sister told me about that. I talked to her the other day. Um, dang man, who's showing up or like have they tomorrow? Yeah, or no? Today? Today's when they're doing the thing on H3.
They did it yesterday too. I don't know if they're doing it today.
How many people showed up?
Think I'm not too sure. I gotta go check. I think they did over 1,000 tests. The goal is 60,000.
Hmm. So not really towards their goal then.
But then
Did you
they
go?
said there was like over 50 people out of that test. I think there was like I think it was 100 that tested positive.
Wow. But then I did see on the news though that Mayor Caldwell, he's under fire by everybody because of mislabeled results.
Well, because everything was last minute, and the
Yeah,
people that was doing it, you know what I mean. So that was just a communications error.
yeah. But I mean, that's crazy. You didn't go to it, did you?
Nah, man, because I know I'm negative.
You don't need a test to tell you're negative. You know, because you've been following protocol. You've been
No,
keeping yourself safe. That's what people are
because
gonna say. You know what I mean?
my girlfriend's a nurse, so she gets tested.
Yeah.
So if she's negative, I know I'm negative.
And obviously that's the point to look at it, right? But no, I'm saying like because you said that you know for a fact you're negative, people are gonna be like you're following protocol and stuff like that. And you know what? Like it's furthest from that because there's some people who aren't like locking themselves in their house that they go and they take a test and it's negative, just like they said. Just when there's other factors into it that people got to remember. It's not like if you step
Well,
outside of your house, you're automatically contracting it.
I'm following what I need to follow.
Yeah, man, that sucks. So no inter island travels, none of that stuff happening right now. And then you said a possible another 2 more weeks. Dude, that's crazy.
Yeah, it might go up all the way to a month and a half, depending on how the numbers keep on rolling through. Because they say there's a 3 week backlog. So even if they start testing people now, then you figure they got 3 weeks behind. So
Yeah,
whoever tests positive, and then they got to take care of those, and they got to make sure those people aren't out. And then they're still testing more people, so they're still gonna have a backlog. So if it's 3 week backlog, there's possibly a month and a half shutdown.
that's nuts, dude. Because I mean, we're already coming close to the holidays, and that's what kind of scares me is that it's going to be tough this year for the holidays. I mean, Halloween
Well,
definitely
the way
that's a no no.
yeah, that's a bummer because I look forward to that too. Depending on my finances, whatever's. But you got to look at it this way right now. That should be the least thing on your mind, because if we can get past through that for this year, hopefully the outcome will be better for next year. Because if we don't, it's going to roll into next year as well, and the following year if we don't nip it in the bud now.
But
So
here's the thing.
it's a sacrifice. It's a sacrifice you have to make, because it's not it's ideally it's not essential. You know what I mean? Safety trumps getting free candy.
I get you there, but like so. I follow up on this whole thing with that, and here's some interesting things that they come up with. Right. All right. So one thing is, the CDC changed the numbers on the deaths, right?
No, I wasn't really following that. But I don't
So
follow
it
that
just,
because none of it is accurate. It can,
of
no
course,
matter
it's not
how accurate they
accurate.
can be, it will never be accurate because there's always some people that don't get tested, and that's the people that's spreading it. You know what I mean? There's too many variables to it.
Well, I mean, that's for like the infected. What they actually went on was the deaths. So like before, because they were dropping out numbers saying there was about 180,000 deaths to that, you know, the Mario virus. And then the CDC quietly changed it and actually specifically put that only 9,000 is directly related to the Dr. Mario virus. And the other 94% is that the people that had it had already an underlining illness and that they succumbed to that along, tag teaming along with the Dr. Mario virus. So much is going on, and when you really look at it, like it's crazy because you have people that's like trying to like come up with information, pass out stuff to everyone to kind of follow up with, and they're saying, okay, so if this thing is not, if the flu is deadlier than this, then why are they putting it in this perspective where it's like, like they have people thinking instant death when contracted when it's not even that. I mean, people will succumb to it, especially those who are elderly, and that's the reason why we're practicing all these different things, guidelines we have, like the physical distancing and stuff like that, because we don't want to keep spreading this around. But it's just like there's a lot of people who are just like fed up already at this point, like,
Well,
and I
the
feel for them.
problem, I can say the problem with the numbers is if the person passed away to something similar to what the effects will cause, you got to think about it. How hard is it for that individual hospital to really break down what it was because of the symptoms were so similar to the after effects. You know what I mean? Think about how much money and resources they're gonna have to spend to say, yeah, okay, now we know for a shadow of a doubt that this person passed for that reason, versus that contributing to that as well. So if that contributes to it, they can consider it that
Did he
because they're already weak in that sense. That just took them over the edge.
Yeah. I mean, there's so many things that's involved in this. Like, for instance, here in my state, right? So they've already been caught here fibbing the actual stuff. Like a person who passed away from a car accident died from the car accident, and they labeled his death, as because of the Dr. Mario virus. You know what I mean? So I mean, there's too much. But like, I think the thing that like is really resonating with me is just people's frustrations, and they're fed up. They're just fed up. You know. And
Well,
and,
and
and
that
you're
and that
right about certain things. It is hard for them to just give definitive. These are the exact numbers when you really got to really investigate to really be able to say, was it because of it or something else? It's not cakewalk to do that.
and
You're
but
right
do
about
you
that.
really think that they have the time and the manpower to go through that and spend that resources?
Yeah,
Because it would be better for them to put unknown cause if they're
would
leaning
be.
towards that outcome, or unknown, unknown basically. They can't specify, they can't categorize it in that perspective.
Yeah, but for here in some places here
Oh
in
yeah,
Arizona,
I can agree
yeah,
with
that's
you.
messed
Yeah, that's like,
up.
you get hit, if you go crossing the street and somebody bangs you and you die from a car accident. Yeah, no, no, you know what I
Yeah.
mean? Oh yeah, the person was coughing and then they fell over. Oh yeah, you forgot to add the fact that he got hit by a car.
Yeah. Yeah, that stuff's crazy, man. But it's, I don't know. I'm more concerned for like Hawaii because what I mean, like it.
Well, I would be.
Hawaii's one of the main
I
things that
I take that
they're
back. I take
boosting.
that back. You should be more concerned about the mainland versus Hawaii, because Hawaii is we're isolated. Think about it. We're isolated. We have a better chance of getting this under control as long as nobody. You have to actually fly. You have to
Yeah,
fly, or if you live on the outer islands, you can get there with a boat.
Oh, I mean
You
the
know what I mean?
economy. I'm talking about the economy, right? Because the
Well, I
shutdown.
mean, the economy that would go for any place, not just for Hawaii. Think about the
Yeah,
rural areas in the mainland where your only job is that coffee shop because you're in a cafe for road stop people. You know what I mean? That's your
right.
only job because that roadside cafe that handles all the truckers and all the people, tourists that's driving through there, all of a sudden your job gets shut down due to that fact. And it's not like you can say, okay, screw it, I'm gonna go look for another job somewhere else when there's only like five businesses in the area and they're all shut down.
Right. But
You know,
well,
you know that people in Hawaii is resilient. You know what I mean? People that are prepared have backup plans. It's already,
yeah,
even besides the fact you know what it like was like to live here even before this, and what it took just to survive here. Period. Before this, and you made do with what you had, and you survived. So it's a totally different story. I feel for the people in the mainland more than I do here because there's a better chance for us to get it under control versus, think about it. If you live in bordering states, you can just drive to. If you're really bored, you can say, "Screw it, I gotta go." You know, make up a story and say, "I gotta go. I gotta go see a family member because it's a death in the family." And you
well, I
think
don't think.
who's gonna argue with that? They're gonna just let you go.
I mean, it depends on the state, though. 'Cause, like some states, they wouldn't even let you go if there was a death in the family because they don't want people gathering around. But I know what
No,
you
but
mean. If
what
you
if?
just cross borders to go somewhere.
Yeah, because if the border isn't shut down, you can easily use that as an excuse.
Yeah, you guys gotta go by boat if you guys want to go somewhere.
Well, the only people that really travel between inner islands is the fishermen that have the boats capable of being able to go from Oahu. Oahu's, Hawaii, not Hawaii Kai. From Hawaii Kai, you could easily just take out your boat to Molokai. From Molokai, you regas up. Next thing you know, you're in Maui. From Maui, after you gas up, you can go all the way to the Big Island and and travel that same distance back.
Yeah, yeah, man, but yeah, that's crazy that all that stuff's happening over there. So,
Yeah, only the people with the $100,000 boats can do that.
yeah. Well, other than that, man, how's everything going with your channel? How's stuff going with the speed testing, invisible, and all that good stuff? Anything new
Well,
happening?
it's hard not being able to leave the house. You know what I mean? Today I got a
Yeah.
doctor's appointment at 2 o'clock. I might, and depending if I have to go to CVS to pick up medication, I might do a couple, AT&T tests and see where it goes from there. Other than that, it's like
Yeah,
it's just frustrating.
I can imagine, man. I can imagine. You know, as I say, like some of the things that's going on and everything like that. I mean, it impacts people in different ways. I mean, you have a channel, and the type of content that you put up is harder for you to put up when you guys basically are not at this point for the safety of other people are not allowed to just venture around. You guys pretty much gotta stay home unless you have to go somewhere. Only move if it's like if it's an absolute necessary that you move around. But other than that, they want you to stay put. Don't interact with people. Stay home. So that's why getting on here is actually pretty cool because you can talk with people. Do you have a backup plan? Just in case it's like another month and a half. Like, what are you gonna do on your channel?
Yeah, I'll figure it out because my girlfriend still goes to her house, and I can do indoor coverage there because her area is a lot better than my area. So once we go over there and then the drive along there, I can do it then. But right now, even for my apartment, if you're outside in the common area, you need to wear. You're required to wear a mask. If you're doing
Mm,
laundry, you got to wear a mask. If you go check your mail, you need to wear a mask.
that's some pretty tight rules. I mean, we wear masks here too when we go out. They just not to go check your mail, but you should though. I mean, you should because sometimes people gather around the mailbox when the mail comes in because they're looking for something. Hmm.
Will we be able to go and maybe see it just for a little bit?
Yeah.
Okay.
It's tough for them because they're ready to go back to physical school. They're tired of being, in Zoom meetings and um, doing classwork that way. So it's tough for them. Imagine a lot of kids that got to do virtual remote learning. It's tough.
Yeah, but I guess for me, since I lived here my entire life and never, only visited Vegas twice, Utah once, and Everett, Washington once. Even
Oh.
before this, it was very difficult. It's good to visit, but I wouldn't be able to live there. It's just, you know what I mean? It's just too hard. It's too hard dealing with the mainland mentality.
Mm,
You know what I
I know
mean?
exactly what you mean.
Because
Because
like
I
over,
deal with it all
over,
the time.
over here, it's like you can meet somebody, right? You talk to them. Next, like this lady and this gentleman saw Chanel in her show, and then they were all going gaga over Chanel. And just so happened, I had to go renew my permit at the DMV, and she's the very same lady that's guiding people where to stand, where to go. And she goes, "Oh, where's the puppy?" I go, "She's in the car with the AC on because I didn't want to have to drag her in here." Because I didn't have an appointment because when I looked online, it said appointment recommended. So I didn't go on and look because there was nothing available. And when I got there, they totally changed everything where it was 100% appointment only. Then I go and talk to the police officer that was there monitoring that location. Then the
Mm,
guy inside goes, "Oh, just come," because it was only a renewal. I wasn't doing like a, a driver's test or something that would take a long time.
yeah.
So I was lucky that I only had to wait like about 30 minutes to go through the whole process to get it renewed.
Ah. Well, I mean, that's cool though. I mean, they told you come in and just do that since you're just doing a renewal. That's
Yeah, because that was the day before the shutdown, and my license expired at the end of the month. And then who cares? I don't even if they extended expired, IDs. I can't. I don't know if they would take my expired ID when I go to this appointment to renew my medical marijuana card. You know what I mean? So
yeah.
I didn't want to take that chance. So now at least I can renew that.
No, that was cool though that they just said come on in. Yeah, you wouldn't get. Yeah, I guess you wouldn't get that type of treatment here. They're pretty much by the book here, so like they won't bend a little bit.
Because
You know
all
what I mean?
the thing about all it was is basically I paid the $5. I filled out the paperwork, paid a $5 fee, then I go stand in another line and take a picture.
Yeah.
It's like how hard is it to do that to make an exception? It's not like I was going for a road test.
Yeah, but then there's some places that are just like by the book and just something just simple as that, they still wouldn't just make an exception, you know what I mean? So yeah, that's cool though. So those are the
I
places
mean,
that you've been to, basically, that you traveled to and like just went to go vacation at for a little bit.
well, Vegas was for vacation. Utah and Washington was for when I was a Selectron employee.
Oh
It was
yeah, yeah.
three weeks of training, and I was the lucky guy that my store manager wanted me to go to Everett, Washington, because Everett, Washington had 3G for Verizon, and 3G hadn't fully rolled out yet. So he wanted me to go over there and get extra training. Where all the regular trainees only got 1 week in Utah and went home. From
Yeah.
there, I flew up to Washington, stayed there for 2 weeks in a motel. It was crazy,
Yeah.
but yeah, they. I looked at the bill because they print. You know how they print out the bill and make you sign it
Yeah.
all together with airfare and hotels and shit. They spent like 5 grand for my training. And if I had my license, my boss at the time was gonna set me up with a rent a car for 2 weeks. I
Oh
thought, well,
yeah,
sorry, I don't have my license. That would have been fun to be able to drive out to Seattle.
yeah. We did something like that when I worked for Converges. Some of us were sent out to like different call centers to train like the new people coming in. When they opened up a new call center, they sent us out to go train them. So then, yeah. For ours, we did get like a weekly allowance while we were out there. But I mean, they paid for our airfare and everything too, our hotel stay. Then we got like a weekly allowance. But if you used your own money to buy things and you saved the receipt, they would reimburse you. So, oh man, I know what you mean. It's crazy when companies do that.
Well, I
But
was lucky, Food is cheap. Food is cheap in the mainland compared to Hawaii at any point in time. You know what I mean? So I did,
yeah,
for me, that 3 weeks, $100 on food was more than enough. Where you can barely buy nothing with $100 here.
yeah, I don't think that's one of the crazy things though, like how much things cost in Hawaii. But obviously, there's reasons why stuff is high priced over there. Import
Yeah.
is one of the biggest things of why things cost so much. Things that got to be imported in. So got to pay that plane that get the jet fuel. Got to pay for that. Basically, when you're buying products,
No,
you're
you
paying
gotta, you got.
for that.
It's Matson. It's a monopoly because it's only Matson bringing in stuff to Hawaii. We don't have multiple carrier ships that bring in all those containers. It's 100%
Oh,
Matson.
that's nuts. So they set the tone for everything, and so like all businesses out there pretty much got to put their prices at a certain point because they're paying for them to import the stuff in.
Yeah, and then Lanai, like, I think 1,000 employees got laid off from their hotel jobs, and that was
Oh,
what almost 2/3. Because there's only 3,000 people on Lanai, so
yeah.
that two hotels basically cover the majority of jobs on the island. So you got 2/3 of the people unemployed, and Matson charging a 49% price increase on goods shipped to Lanai.
Jeez.
I
Uh,
mean, the people of Lanai is just lucky to have the job because of the guy who owns Lanai, who owns like 98% of Lanai,
mm-hmm.
that billionaire.
Yeah. Wow, that's crazy. That. Yeah. It's hard to hear things like that. It's hard to hear, about people losing their jobs and whatnot based on those things. But I mean, it's life. I mean, shit. It happens. So. Hopefully things are a lot better next year. I pray for that much that things let up and we start to get some of our life back. I mean, of course, things will never be the same. This whole year has pretty much altered majority of the way that people live and think. So it's going to be interesting to see where we go for further down the road in life, just based on the whole event of 2020. 2020 was just a crazy year. I would at least say that. I don't know if people would agree with me on that, but I would say 2020 was, yeah, it's a bad year, but I have this mentality of when you're rock bottom, there's only one direction for you to go when you're rock bottom, and that's up. So maybe things will be better
Yeah, don't
next 5 years.
don't mind me. I'm taking everything out of the under part of my sink because the water. When I run the kitchen sink water, almost the water is leaking between the cabinets and the icebox, so it's like flooding out. So can't even
Oh,
wash dishes right now.
aha. Nah, no worries, man. I gotta jump off anyways because we've been on here for like a good amount of time. But before I close this out, for all those people that did come in and listen to to the podcast, appreciate you guys for coming in. Those that gave a super chat, appreciate those super chats as well. And I am going live again tonight. I'm actually gonna pick the brain of the man himself, Sneed. So, do you have any questions you want me to ask Sneed to get answered to?
How does he manage working 3 jobs?
Okay, I will
Think
make a
about
mention.
it. He does his YouTube channel. He does the research for that.
Yep.
Then he does his school working and all that other stuff, and the bakery.
Yeah. I will definitely. That's definitely one of the ones that I'm going to pick his brain about, so he can kind of share with everyone. It's going to be really, really, really exciting. So I hope people come back later on tonight, and in about 7.5 hours from now is when he and I are going to do it. So, but yeah, is there anything you want to say before I close this out?
No, nothing much, man. Thank you for letting me on and share what I got to share with you. Hopefully, everything is safe, and you have. I'll be in the chat while you're interviewing Sneed. Definitely. You know what time about you're going to be doing it?
So we're doing it 6 p.m. my time, so 3 p.m. your time.
Okay, I should be home because my doctor's appointment is at 2 p.m.
Okay, cool. All right, so yeah, we're gonna end this out. Thank you everybody for coming in. You guys are lovely. I'll see you guys again later on tonight, and also tomorrow. Y'all take it easy as always. Law.